Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? How you doing this evening? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Got some interesting information to share with you tonight. Hope you're having a fabulous evening so far. Tonight, guys, in this video, I'm going to be talking about debt collectors sliding in your DMs. Debt collectors sliding in your DMs. New credit laws that you might want to be aware of as it relates to your credit and credit profile. That's what I'm going to be talking about this evening. So, hey guys, if this is your first time joining me, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Alex Jones, financial freedom coach and founder of the brand new Black Wealthy and Wise podcast, number one podcast for helping Black families escape financial slavery and create financial freedom so they can live their best life and leave a legacy. So, hey guys, come on in. If you haven't done so already, please like and share this live stream. Share with a friend, share with your family members so other people can get this great information. So, what am I talking about tonight? Tonight, guys, be careful. Be careful. That person that you think, that person who's sliding in your DMs, that person who's sending you that personal message on Messenger may not be who you think they are. I want you to be very, very mindful and be careful. So apparently, let's get right to it. Last year in 2020, Kathleen Kraninger, she headed up the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau last year in 2020. Well, they changed the laws, and the laws now actually states that debt collectors can text, email, and message you on social media. Yes, debt collectors can now text, email, and message you on your social media platforms, in addition to calling and mailing you as well. So, if you guys don't know, debt collectors are regulated by an act or law. It's called the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. This rule clarifies restrictions on how debt collectors can contact you. Okay? It says collectors must clearly identify themselves, only send private messages, and as a part of their message, offer an opt out option for receiving further messages when reaching out through social media, email, or text messages. So these changes were made last year in 2020, and they just went into effect this year, this November. Okay. So it goes on to say that as for phone calls, debt collectors are already restricted to only 7 calls within 7 days. But the new rule clarifies that calls that go straight to voicemail are counted as contact by phone. So those count as well. So again, if you didn't know, debt collectors are regulated by the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act. It's very important that you understand and know your rights when it comes to debt in particular, and your credit scores and all of that good stuff. So as it relates to your credit scores and the information that is on your credit bureau and your credit profiles, that information is regulated by the Fair Credit Reporting Act. That's a different act. That information stipulates what type of information can go into your credit profile, how long the information can stay there. There are any number of rules and regulations that govern the outdated, inaccurate information. It gives you the right to dispute information that may not be accurate or correct, or timely information. So that is actually done through the Fair Credit Reporting Act as it relates to your debts and debt collectors. That is governed by the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Now, there are several agencies that regulate, that kind of oversee the activities of debt collectors. One of them is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. That is the one that recently changed the laws and gave clarification as to how many and how often a debt collector can contact you. You can also reach out to the Federal Trade Commission if you happen to believe that you are being harassed or otherwise not treated in accordance with the law. And also, finally, you can reach out to your state's attorney office if you happen to feel that there is some harassment or some activity that's going on that's not in accordance with the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. So I'm always trying to share information with you guys, because how you handle the contact when someone calls you, when someone emails you or reaches out to you in social media, how you handle that email contact, that message, makes all the difference in the world. If you happen to, first of all, acknowledge the contact, now you can no longer say, hey, I was never contacted. I didn't know about this particular debt. You can't say that you didn't know it now. Okay. So I know sometimes people will say, hey, I moved. I moved out of state. My address changed or what have you. I never received anything in the mail. I never received any contact, any phone call or anything. So I didn't know that that you had the debt and the debt was still outstanding. So sometimes people try to use that as a basis for disputing some type of debt that shows up on their credit profile or shows up in collections. So that's one thing. The other thing is that depending on, again, your conversation with a debt collector, you may inadvertently acknowledge that the debt is yours. So now you have said, hey, you know what? Yes, I do owe this debt. And now they can legally begin to pursue you for the debt that they are trying to collect on. Now, of course, there are any number of rules that state how long someone is able to actually collect on a debt. And there are any number of things that debt collectors will do in order to try to skirt some of these laws and some of these regulations. So it's really key that you know and understand what they are. And so if you look at the link down below here, alexbjones.com/credit, I have a perfect credit score kit that explains everything to you, that walks you through the process, so you know exactly what your responsibilities are if you happen to owe a debt, or what debt collectors must do, what creditors must do in order for that to be a legal, right? A legal debt that you are now obligated to pay. So I try to put together all the information that you need so you know what information is accurate information, what information is outdated, how long can someone seek remedy or sue you for a debt, what kinds of debt are actually can a collections agency actually pursue you for? So there are any number of things that you really need to be mindful of and be careful of, especially when you're dealing with people whose sole purpose, their job, is to try to collect as much as they possibly can on debt that is often purchased for pennies. Okay, so I'm in no way suggesting that if you happen to know that you owe a debt, I would say the best thing to do is to try to make amends as best as possible, especially if you know you owe the debt. Um, um, but in the instance where statute of limitation has already transpired, okay, or the the time period that a particular debt can stay on your credit report, and each state is different. If those dates have passed already, or if it happens to be an old or erroneous debt, those are the things that you really need to be mindful of, so you don't wind up having to pay thousands of dollars or suffering from low credit scores from debt that might be old, outdated errors or erroneous information that's sitting on your credit report. Okay, so if you go to alexbjones.com /credit, there's a whole credit kit there that helps you to figure out exactly what and how you should proceed if you happen to have some debt or with a collections agency. Or even if you might just be getting started and you don't know where to begin or the best way to establish credit for yourself, I go into great detail on those things. If you happen to have uh, old debt or debt that is in um, as relates to foreclosure, bankruptcies, judgments, garnishments, and those things. Those Some of those items can be disputed in the proper way, and those things can sometimes be removed from your credit report. Each situation is different. Each scenario is different, so it's really important to kind of know exactly which steps you need to go through in order to alleviate whatever situation you may find yourself in. So I definitely recommend alexbjones.com /the credit kit. Again, it has dispute letters. I talk to you and tell you plainly what to look for on your credit report, the process and how to actually go about disputing it the right way, so you can have the best chance of having old, outdated, inaccurate, or negative information removed from your credit report. And yeah, so I definitely, I highly recommend you take a look at it. So as it relates to this new law, I really would caution you, be very mindful, be very aware of, again, um, friend requests, DMs, emails, and other things that you're receiving from people that you don't know. It could be a legal debt that you owe. It could be an old debt that you no longer owe, or it could be a scammer. Whatever it is, guys, I just really want to caution you and tell you to be very mindful, be very aware um, of how you are engaging and talking to or corresponding with people who might not be who you think they are. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, I would first go to alexbjones.com /credit. And again, if you feel like you have been harassed or in some way not treated legally as it relates to your debt, you can reach out to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. You can reach out to the Federal Trade Commission, or you can reach out to your state's attorney office. Okay. So, of course, if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can email, leave a message here. I love to hear from you. And again, you don't have to suffer from low credit scores. There are so many things that you can do, and if done the right way, you can get yourself to a place of being able to have good credit once again, and having access to and being credit worthy and having access to capital at low rates as well because of having good credit. So um, yeah, yeah, that's it. So if you have any questions, I'd look forward to hearing from you. And if you need to know exactly how to write your letters and exactly how to go through the process to dispute or to remove negative or inaccurate information from your credit report, you can go to alexbjones.com/credit and get the credit kit, and it'll walk you through the process from start to finish. All right. Well, take care. God bless. I'll see you on the next episode.